is I'm talking about real life and real things. This is freedom of expression and freedom of speech, right? I'm talking about situations where life could be better instead of where everybody is struggling. So I don't know why YouTube is just playing up for me. Like, just genuinely playing up. Right. According to this, it's still upcoming. I've been streaming for 30 seconds out with a. Apparently, one person's already watching. I don't know whether to save this or not. Right. Press pause. Because it's just cutting me off for no reason. Are we seeming to be back? No offense, but this is freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and I'm talking about my actual life, mate. I'm talking about areas I can go. This is something that helps me self-regulate. I am not clickbaiting anything for people to come towards my channel. I am genuinely talking. Right? Just because everybody wants to live at the top while they get to feel better about the people at the bottom doesn't mean I want to be there. Right, if I was rich and I was famous, I'd be definitely trying to change the world and influence the world in a better mannerism than what we've got now. But it turns out most of you famous people, you just want to hoard those millions of pounds in the bank instead of curing cancer. Right. And let's have a look at cancer research, mate. It's not really got anywhere on that, has it? Right. Why? Because the money's not being used correctly.
You are my new best friend. Ah, Ryder. I'd like to introduce you to my new best friend. What's your name again?
Samrick.
Right. Samrick here's been so sympathetic about Pock being stolen. He used to run with our pal Kalinda, and he knows where her crews congregate. Safe houses, rallying points, etc.
Well, I mean, with my stew, it looks like I've got gravy granules as fucking flavour bites. But I'm also going in the bath and all.
I trust he's telling you what you need to know.
Well...
Also, I could have took the
Look,
advantage of
I
letting my dog
appreciate
out.
the drinks and the flattery and all, but Kalinda doesn't take kindly to people discussing her business interests. She busted me up pretty bad when she kicked me out of her outfit. I don't really want to repeat.
So, I don't know what keeps going off with my stream and that lot at the minute, but it just keeps cancelling for some reason, so I apologise for all the same fucking parts.
You're sitting in an open bar on Kadara Port with us. Kalinda will know, and she'll assume the worst.
Yeah, and she probably won't be satisfied the first 30 or 40 times you scream your innocence. So you might as well tell us what we want to know.
At least that way you get another free drink.
Well, shit. Guess I can't argue with that. And I am still thirsty.
Thanks, Ryder. I think he'll cooperate now. I'll know where to look for Pock soon.
Also, it could be down to the weather and all. So, it might be that. That's cutting the stream and that lot. Same as like there's a wire outside on my thingy. I think people think that that's my internet wire. That's my satellite dish. It goes to my satellite. I don't have Sky anymore because I don't watch TV. So, I went to the fucking slums, man. I really wish you could back out from this area, but that's my bad. And it just comes down to a situation of why you gotta start with people that don't even mean any problem to you in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, makes no sense, brother. At all. And these wannabe alphas ain't wannabe alphas, mate. They've just got enough money to pay for idiots to do the work for them. That's really all they've got. Other than that, they ain't got nothing to hand. Like, nothing. And this is where I just step aside and leave everybody to their own shitty device, mate. Because unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, everybody in the weed business is gonna be put out of business by the governments. Yeah, there'll be no street dealers anymore, I can tell you that now. It's all gonna be through the medical service. And the reason why I can state that is just look how America's gone. And Britain is one of the biggest farmhouses for cannabis, I'm not gonna lie. If you figure out, I'm not gonna tell you, but if you figure out where these grows are going, that are military protected, yeah, you can make a lot of money off robbing them. But yet people kind of want the quick fix money. You know what I mean? Oh, I can make a couple grand if I do this, but how long is that couple grand gonna last you, dumbass?
You're on course.
You know what I mean? It's not gonna last long. I know that for a fact. I've had money come in and out my hands of a ridiculous basis. You know what I mean? Where money don't care about anymore. Because of it coming in and out my hands. On a regular fucking basis. Whereas, even when it wasn't, like now, money does not come in and out my hands at all. Money comes in my hand, and then it's out my hands. The only thing I've got to my name is £2 on a scratch card. That's the money I've got to my name right now, mate. £2 on a motherfucking scratch card. That's all I've got. The thing is I'm not about that fake life. I don't want to go and live that life, mate. I don't want to pretend I'm glamorous. I don't want to pretend I'm fucking this, and I don't want to pretend I'm that. Right? All I want to do is enjoy life. Right? All I wanted to do was help rear my child. Although I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to be with my child. You know what I mean? I wanted to look after my child. I wanted to be a dad. That was the only thing I wanted to be. I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want to be this. I didn't want to be anything. Although I've got a lot more talent than most people I see on a day-to-day basis in multiple different areas and factions of life. I ain't a nerd. I can tell you that now. I became a nerd, but I'm not a nerd. And the reason why I became a nerd is mainly because it allowed me to stay at home with my dog, and I saw an area of, you know, being able to make the money to go fucking deal with my son. Yeah? And no offence, when I was younger, mate, and everybody was working together upon that line, it wasn't long before one person decided to throw one person under the water by snitching, and then that one person that went into that water and got his toes wet decided to throw the whole fucking shit under. To protect his own skin, mate. And then everybody got busted. Why, that guy got to walk around still selling weed.
Did you leave many people behind in the Milky Way?
You know exactly what he did.
Parents are gone, but my
He
old unit could
snitched.
still be alive.
Yeah, some of my
Fucking
contacts might be kicking
snitch.
around. Isn't it weird saying things like that while knowing you'll never see them again?
No stranger than them being 600 years older than we are.
If we're getting into the deep stuff, we need a few stiff drinks first.
You started it, you're buying.
And trust me, if I had a lot more influence and power over people, mate, there'd be a lot done a lot fucking quicker, mate. And there'd be no fucking around,
Looks like
mate.
Kalinda's outfit abandoned the site. Well, we're here. Might as well search it.
There'd be no fucking around, mate. If I had the right men
Figures all they left
to
was
deal
junk.
with this situation. But the fact is, I don't have the right men to deal with situations. And the problem is I'm a lot more intelligent than most people take credit for, mate, honestly. They give me credit for. Right. The thing is I know the ins and outs. I can find your routine. I can find your schedules. I can find what you do. I can find this. I can find that. Fuck, I can even find out how many pieces of toilet roll you used to have a shit if I really wanted to. And failing that, fuck it, I'll go and find that information myself. So, I constantly... Sorry, I went to let my dog out. I thought he needed a wee.
That
Apparently
broken
he don't.
observer looks like Pock.
Let's make sure. PB, come to my location, please.
Yep, he's got Pock. She's broken, though.
Guess Kalinda didn't take very good care of her.
Hey, I don't want any trouble. I found the site abandoned. By scavenger law, it's all mine.
Can I ever get time just to sort my fucking stew out, mate? Have it for all I care.
Yeah, right. You made that up.
Scavenger law? Scavengers get to make up the laws? No, then you could just make up new ones. Well, I'm a businessman, you see, so I'm willing to sell if you see anything you like.
I'm not moving now, mate. I'm sorting my gravy out because it's like starting to get there, ready for me to actually start sticking my Yorkshire puddings in the oven so I can have something to fucking eat. I've been making this all day and I can't wait to sit down and fucking enjoy my damn food. But yeah, like everyone wants the fake life and the fucking goddamn, oh, look at me in my flashy fucking car that I sell cocaine for, mate. And the problem is like I said, When one person snitches, they all get brought down.
Did you see where the crew that used the site went?
No. They were trouble, though. Led by a pain-in-the-ass Asari with the meanest spit Krogan toady. They've been picking remnant sites clean all over. Never leave anything worthwhile behind. But, they screwed up and left some choice items here, though.
How much for that broken observer?
What, this thing? Yeah, it may look trashed, but I assure you it's easy to fix right up. In fact, I could do it myself and make a killing, so, no discounts.
Right. This guy's gonna put her back together.
You ever hear of an Asari named Kalinda Terev?
That's the, pain-in-the-ass Asari I stupidly mentioned. Please don't tell her I called her that, or next time I see her, it's my ass.
Yeah? So you better do right by us.
Let's get down to business.
Okay, look, what do you think is fair for the Observer?
Take this, and consider yourself lucky.
Yep, that'll do. Pleasure doing business with you.
I'll get her to the Tempest and put her together. Thank you, Ryder. Maybe this Kalinda nightmare is over.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Regardless, I can upgrade my remnant scanner now. Come see me back at the ship.
So, yeah. And I've seen it all before, mate. You know, when one person gets caught in the crew, one person in the crew gets caught, one person gets caught, the whole crew goes down, mate. And I've seen it all before, mate. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to throw people under the brush when they go, well, if you tell us the rest of the gang, we'll give you 10 years off your sentence. Now, depending on what year, what you're looking at, you know what I mean, for your crime, or, you know, them 10 years may or may not look a lot more appealing. Right? And they all do it. I've seen it 1,054 times. This is why I just do my own shit, mind my own business. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about what people want to do. You just do you know what I mean? Do your own fucking shit. Mind your own fucking business. Leave everybody be. What does it matter? An honest day's work is an honest day's work. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Within my eyes. Right? I mean, honestly, we shouldn't really be dealing with blood money. But we kind of are dealing with blood money. Right? Now, I'm not a big fan on, like, the heavy drugs and everything. Weird ass question to be asking. Have I
Here
got
you
money
are.
in the bank?
Hi.
One word, one syllable. That's not like you.
I'm just mellow.
I reiterate.
I received this.
Hey, babe. Sorry I broke your pet. It lacked versatility. Couldn't keep up. Maybe I'll do the same with your other new toy. Ta.
She means you. I hate her.
Don't let her get to you.
Can't help it. It's not that she took my bot and broke her. We got Puck back and I repaired her. Better than ever. Now my scanner's fully upgraded and sweeping the cluster for remnant signals. We won.
So what's the problem?
It's just drummed up feelings I thought I'd put behind me. Turns out I just buried them. This is what happens when you let people in. You acquire baggage. I travel light, damn it. No baggage.
You just have to let the right people in.
Right can turn wrong. Good goes bad. I let Kalinda become important to me. Look where that ended up. Now you've become, or you're becoming, important. But you need to know, I resist checking out of this hotel every day.
I need to know I can count on you.
I know. I get it. I just need a little space. Time to think. Hopefully, my now RemTech-infused scanner will pick up something amazing and make all this Kalinda trouble worthwhile.
Weird question to be asking. Right, literally. Mate's just asked me, mate, you got any money in the bank? Weird question to be asking. I ain't got no money, mate, at the minute. I mean, what? I'm on benefits. Like, how much money do you think I've got? I have enough to survive, and I'm happy with that. I can pay my bills, I can have shitty internet, I can look after my dog, I can sort of look after myself. Other than that, I ain't got much. Most of my games come from fucking SharePlay. Not SharePlay, fucking... what's it called? PlayStation Plus. That's where I get my games from. I guess he's not going to answer me that. I mean, the thing is I want to fight to the death, so you got any sort of plans or intentions that are negative towards me, mate? It's not going to turn out too well towards you. And the problem is, I've seen shit like fucking stuff like this happen before, mate. So, wait for Phoebe, scan and find. I've always got to wait, haven't I? Can never just do. So, yeah. The worst bit is I just see a better area of life for humanity.
Pythias system, home of Eos and Prodromos.
I honestly thought he'd have loads of people to help him out. He's never done out wrong to me. He's always been respectful. I mean, except once when we were kids.
Descent is green.
But that's only because he's older brothers.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
That's it. I mean, after my dog's gone, I don't even know how I'm going to interact with humans. Like, so I struggle with you all. I really do. I don't understand where we're going in direction as a human race. As a child, I kind of saw a direction where we was going, but then it all changed very fucking quickly. So, crazy to me.
I'm good. You're here. Yeah, so listen, she's only got a minute or two, and she's in rare form today, just to warn you. She's here kickstarting repopulation protocols, reversing the chemical procreation blockers for colonists. Calls it boosting the batter. Jill's especially excited since Meridian's up and running and things are settling down a little. She's gonna try and get you to do it.
I'll be exercising my Pathfinder's prerogative on that one.
Tell me about it. I mean, makes no never mind to me. No chance I'll ever oops a baby into the world.
Am I interrupting something?
Ah, Jill. About time. This is...
Save it. I asked you both to stop by, remember? Ryder, pleasure. I know we're all very busy, so I have only one question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
What the hell did you do to him? It's like he's an adult or something. He can even have a mature conversation without it degrading into pot shots. Unless I take it there. What's your secret?
I have nothing to do with it. It's all him.
I call bullshit on that. It's definitely your influence. Something.
Maybe all these years you thought you knew me, you were sadly mistaken.
You wish. Okay, you're both off the hook. So glad I got to meet you, Ryder.
Likewise.
My mum, bless her, she's having a disabled ramp put into her. So, one of them. She's struggling with mobility and that, bless her. And like I said, I don't know how to do that, mum. And because it's mobility issues, I'd rather someone with actual capability to be able to actually deal with that shit than someone that doesn't know what they're doing. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing the work if I've got an experienced person next to me. But you see, without that experience, it's not something I'm planning to do. Because I don't feel like it would be safe. You know what I mean? All it takes is for me to lay some dodgy concrete and for it to be fucked up. You know what I mean? That's really it.
Might divert some militia equipment to Prodromos.
So, and I'm trying to direct my area, but the problem is every area I go towards, like, so I go on Facebook to try and fucking have comedy to lighten my mood, and all I get to watch is fucking about fucking pedos and the government and this and that and the other. You know what I mean?
Ascent is go.
That's all I ever get to hear about.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
And the decent thing about me is
Peter
I
said he
can
wanted to talk to you.
ring the police now. I ain't dealing with that shit. The problem is the police kind of protect the fucking pedos and all, so, like, I don't want to ring them because of that. And no offense, but the police never protected me as a child anyway. So that's why I've always had negativity with police. You know, my stepdad were threatening to fucking burn the house while me and my mum were in it if he got arrested. Bearing in mind, he rang the police on himself. You know what I mean? And the police let him stay inside the property
I'm picking up something.
after he stated that. So I ended up
Launched.
very
Getting a
confused
scan.
within that situation. You know? And I kind of learnt not to rely on the police with that situation.
You're sure that astronomer's nav points are correct?
You seem to think so.
There's nothing out here.
The Scourge didn't swallow a satellite whole. It can't do that, right?
I'll let you know. Let's check other nav points.
Right, kind of one of them. I don't think he's messaging me back, mate.
Anomaly detected. Probe away. Anomaly found.
As personally, I ain't gonna lie. I know I'm being gang stalked, and I know I'm being generally stalked and watched. I'm not bothered, nor am I scared, and nor am I fucking intimidated.
Yes. No Angaran satellite?
No, but I've got something else. Message buoy from an Angaran ship. They came here looking and didn't find anything either. Left a marker for us.
Must be the team our astronomer sent.
They headed to a new nav point. We should join the party.
So, one of them. One of them. So,
Anomaly detected.
it really just comes down to that.
Deploying probe. I found something. Scanning for radiation signature.
Simple as that. Like, if I had money, do you really think I'd be playing free fucking games? Or do you think I'd be buying more games? Do you think I'd be living off the PlayStation Plus area? If I could afford more, I ain't got fucking money, mate. I got enough to get by, and I look for discounted games to be able to play and put some other content with on my channel instead of playing the same game over and over again. That's pretty much what I do. Everything that I own has been a 12-year development and struggle.
Probes launched. Anomaly found.
That's the only reason why I've got stuff. Because I've accumulated it over the space of 12 years.
Stand by. I'm cutting through heavy interference from the Scourge.
We are pretty close for comfort.
Something's drifting just inside. Angaran ship. In pieces. No life signs.
I can see.
Who did this? Ket?
I found the ship's log. Scanning and downloading. Scavengers. The Angara caught them stealing satellites. The Scavs fought back, and the Angara collided with the Scourge.
Can we find the scavengers?
I have their ship's transponder ID. It's registered out of Kadara port.
What the fuck's that there?
Probe away.
Intense Scourge activity is common in this area. Might be worth planting a probe.
I think I'm just gonna answer if I have money in the bank, bro. I mean, I've got like £1, but there's nothing that's gonna fucking help me out.
We've arrived at a Scourge nav point appropriate for data collection.
No, I don't think £1's gonna help anyone out. It's my new mate Martin's birthday tomorrow. I mean, I don't know him personally, but he's been nice and respectful to me, and if it weren't for him, I'd have no one to play pool with when I went to the pub. And I'm not even good at pool, I just enjoy the game. I'm not gonna lie. Mainly because it was something I always did as a fucking child. And I got no reason to be opening doors now, mate. So, I know to be opening.
Now orbiting Kadara.
Not be opening any doors, mate. As far as I'm concerned. Because I have no reason to open doors. So, I'm coming off after the stream anyway. So I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to spend time with my dog. Before he leaves me for good, and I need to find a new direction of life. Because unfortunately, yeah, I don't want to be around here anymore, mate. As far as I'm aware, mate, everybody's just snitching on everybody anyway. Everybody's trying to set everybody up to get robbed. No one's looking for a better direction of life. Like, we're all just trying to fucking intimidate one another for some reason nowadays. I ain't gonna lie, even I'm to blame of that situation, but mine was never directed to anybody. Mine's just been directed to myself, and I've been venting. Yeah.
We're approaching the scavengers that stole the Angaran satellites and destroyed the search vessel.
What are the odds they'll
They're
surrender
fucking
peacefully?
weirdos.
Less than 1%.
Watch the grenade!
Like I'm saying, mate. No offense. But you really don't want me to be a snitch. And the thing is, I don't want to be a snitch, because I'm not a snitch. But I have no problems. Especially if you're gonna go around trying to intimidate people with disorders and stuff like that, mate. Like, as far as I can see, you're picking on people less fortunate. You get what you deserve. I don't go around picking on people less fortunate than myself, mate. And nor do I generally go around trying to find people to pick on. Right? Unless it's right in front of me, mate. There ain't shit I'm doing. I don't even make money out of streaming, I just do it because it gives me something to do. Right. What else have I generally got to do and offer to society in life anymore? Right? I'm a mental fucking wreck. I am absolutely distraught most of the time. I can't regulate myself. I can't function properly. You know what I mean? And I try my best to do what I can to just function daily in society. Like, when I go out and about, I am genuinely just autopilot. Alright, mate, how you doing? You all good there? Yeah, man. Oh, that sounds awesome. That does. And then I'm off. Because I don't know how to talk anymore. Right, I just genuinely don't. Like, I know how to talk to myself, which is why I sit here streaming and talking to myself, to be honest, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to change my direction towards a better area. Well, I'm just mentally fucked. The main thing I'm trying to get better at is my eating and trying to get some sort of stable sleeping routine. It is mainly what I'm trying to do. So that maybe I can find somewhere where I can function in society, but, you know, don't have to be around people to be able to do that. Like, I can literally only deal with like a 10-minute.
Scavengers chop those missing Angaran satellites into scrap.
I'll have the Tempest retrieve what's left for transport to Aya.
No Angara here, just our people.
One more reason for the Angara not to trust us.
with like a 10-minute interaction before the bullshit starts coming out my mouth that people don't want to interact with. Right? And the problem is I can't leave that shit alone because my brain's just telling me, protect the kids, nurture the kids,
Wonder how
look
many
after the
drunk idiots
kids.
are falling in there.
And the only thing I can see that's a general threat towards our kids is fucking pedos and the government trying to normalise it. That's the threat I see towards our kids. Nobody goes out there and think, oh, I'm going to rob that kid's phone, mate. Nobody thinks about that. You just think, oh, it's a kid, leave him alone. You know what I mean? Like, simple as. No. Do I have money in the bank? I live on UC, bro. You know I live on UC. You're just trying to see if I'm worth robbing or something like that, bro. That's the worst bit about it. And I know. Like, go deal with your snitch, bro. That's my thing, mate. I literally live on fucking UC and do the best I can to survive. I don't have no money, mate. Like, no money. Nor am I actually bothered about money within the first place. Like, money doesn't drive me. So, money has no value to me. So why would I want to pursue something that has no value to me? Value, to me, is time shared with others. If I can be in a mental frame of mind where I'm not just on about the fact that we should execute pedos and our governments are pedos and the world's coming to an end, World War III is going to kick off. And this is where my mindset's at all the time. And then if not that, I'm just reliving traumatic events through my life. Which is the only one that made me stumble is the one that I bear on my chest. It's the only thing that makes me stumble. So tonight, I have to be up and on guard in case someone tries to come and rob me tonight. And the problem is I know exactly where I will be dealing with that shit. So I will ring the police and I will sort upon that area. Yeah? Mainly because that person's going to be dead. So I'm going to have no choice but to ring the police. And am I fuckers going down for someone attempting to rob me in the first place? Like, I ain't playing that fucking kid game, bro. And I ain't playing that intimidation game. I never did when I was younger, so why the fuck would I do it as an adult? Right? Simple as. But I know what happened, and I'm glad that I didn't break someone's legs. Because I'd have broke someone's legs that were innocent. That's the issue.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
or because some idiot fucking tried to set me up and then make up some bullshit excuse. And then eventually, well, he ended up getting the worst in the runt of it. I'm not going to blame him. But it's just the area of life. That's the problem. The area of life, mate. And for me, I respectfully walked away and minded my own business and left everybody to their own shit. And went back to focusing on my exercises and focusing on where I wanted to go in life, which was a better place than where I'm at now. And also exercises help with my frame of mind, helps with my state of mind, you know, helps me become a lot better. And the reason why I'd ring the police is because they're going to deal with it a lot better than me having to go back to my old fucking roots. Right? I want to bring a better world into the world for our kids, all our offspring. None of this greed, none of this bullshit, none of this kid's got this and this kid don't have this. So now that kid wants to rob that kid because he's got it. I don't want that sort of shit life anymore. I don't want kids growing up in the area that we grew up in. Shit, I grew up when there were no cameras around. Right? You'd be surprised how much shit were going off on a day-to-day basis.
Criminals were my people. Exiles. They ripped your satellites into scrap. I brought what's left.
The initiative is supposed to explore, not steal and kill. Why would your people steal something that protects us all? Murder those who are only trying to help.
And I'm also trying to help my frame of mind. Because at the minute, I'm not going to lie, nobody seems to care about the situation that we've got with the Epstein files and our government. I've been warning you all for 5 years about this. No one seems to care about it. Right? Nobody. So, I can't do out about it. I ain't got supporters. I ain't got people backing me. I'm doing it all as one man. And unfortunately, it's eating me alive because nobody's listening. Nobody. Nobody cares. Like, you may as well just put your kids in the meat grinder and be done with it.
These were a few bad people. There are thousands of good ones out there.
How can we tell the difference? Maybe the others are right. What if you are no better than the Ket?
These scavengers abandoned the initiative, just like your deserters left you.
And we hate them too. Keep what your people stole and go. I can't talk to you anymore.
And like for me, this is why I just keep myself inside and play games.
Sorry to hear things went south with that Angaran astronomer rider. Found a silver lining, though. The scrapped satellites are going to come in extra handy.
Not as handy as what we could have had, but I'll take it.
Because you see, being at home and playing games, what the fuck am I actually doing wrong here? I'm not harming anybody. I'm using my freedom of speech to be able to speak upon stuff that I genuinely think needs solving. Right? We could have a better world for everybody, but yet we choose to have a better world for a few. We could all have a speak within the world. We could all speak a lot better. But the problem is people just want to be brainwashed. You got no inner thought, no beta capacity to think of a better life than what's put in front of us. Like, none of you seem to have this capacity that I try and demonstrate. And try and show the world, like, look, if we just do this over this, we could have a better world for everybody. But yet we just want to leave the spoiled brats at the top. And you see, it doesn't work like that. This is where we end up with animosity between humans. This is where shit goes wrong all the time. Now, I'm not saying that shit can't go wrong because, oh, everybody's got fucking perfect, but it could be more regulated if shit does go wrong. Right? So that we're not living on where this kid's starving to death because his mum can't afford food. No, his mum would just be able to get food to make him food. Right? Instead of that poor mum that has to become a stripper or a fucking prostitute to be able to provide for the child. We could avoid that conflict and that decision making by just eradicating situations. Necessities within life, we need to be thinking more upon a free area. Yeah? Internet is a necessity of life. A mobile phone is a necessity of life. A television now is a necessity of life to find out the news, although you could just use the mobile phone, so it's not really a necessity. Right? But internet's a necessity. How do you sort your UC out without internet?
Ryder, Vetra wanted you to check in when you can.
You don't, do you? Right? How do you be able to order things offline if you got no internet? You don't, do you? Alright? Water should be free. It's a necessity of life. Right? And that's what we need to start thinking of as a human race. Like, shit, let's start looking at what's necessity to live in life. Water, food, shelter. And now, due to the further interest that we have within life, we need electric. I won't say gas is needed as a fucking luxury, but, you know, if you want a warm bath, then you are going to need gas. You know? Right? And also, like, electric. Electric's a necessity within life. Yeah? People can't live without electric anymore. Number one, how do you charge a mobile phone out? Even for my situation, right, with being on UC, job centre, you know what I mean? Right, because of my mental disabilities. So I'm on UC that basically sort of, like, writes me off for looking for work. Which is good, because I just be constantly getting stressed out, frustrated, and I'm more likely just being a mental assignment by the end of the fucking year. I mean, to be honest, how I'm not actually in a mental assignment in the first place is amazing and outstanding to me. But, you know, I do the best with what I can and what I have. To survive, anyway.
One hell of a trip this is turning out to be. Hostiles, ruined worlds, no home in sight. Everyone's getting toasty. There was a 2-hour argument yesterday and no one even knew how it started.
That's not good.
Luckily, I have the perfect way for people to unwind. Movie night.
And like, lucky for me, I'm not gonna lie, I've always been good at seeing when people need work doing. That's always helped me out. Walk past a garden, see an old man fucking cutting lawn, and just go, for a £5, I'll do that for you. You know what I mean? But if we had community blocks, we'd have all this shit regulated, because the people that are thick as fuck and have no intelligence would be the ones doing all the work. And the ones with the intelligence and the know-how would be doing the intelligent areas of life. You know what I mean? We're not going to have an electrician working as a gardener, not after he's done all them years of training to be an electrician, but then gardening seemed to promise him more money, so he went to that and forgot about the things he enjoys, and then ends up in a miserable society of just trying to cope by. Right? We could have a much more efficient world if we just thought about it. But you see, that's the problem as a human race. We don't have the capacity to think. Which leaves us all in a bad state.
Will just watching a movie make people feel better?
Being with friends, having fun, and not thinking about how screwed we are? Yes. It's worth it to jumpstart everyone's pioneer spirit and all that. The Tempest database is pretty dry. Could you download a movie library from Nexus Ops to see what I've got to work with?
5 time.
Thanks. Everyone will appreciate it.
Right, and because humanity lacks the capacity to think about stuff properly, we all do live in an area of despair, where we're lost, we ain't got no hope. Humanity doesn't seem to have a direction anymore for me. It's like we've hit our peak, and we've got no further evolution because money is trapping us. It's a trapping us all. Like, we're all trapped in this. We can all get out of this. We just need to think differently. And to be honest, if you want my honest opinion, everybody should live the military life. I wanted to go the army when I was younger. If we all worked in the human race as the barracks do, on the military base, we would all have a better life. But because you want to act like wild animals, you get treated like wild animals.
Hey there, what's new?
Huh, funny you should ask. I need to know, if I had something really important to do, could I count on you to help, to come along?
You know, literally, I go to check on my cheap-ass stew that I've made. It's literally 2 tins of veg, a tin of fucking plum taters, and some corn ash beef with some gravy. I don't know why I call it King's Bash corn ash beef, but maybe not. Whatever.
If it's as exciting as you make it sound.
It's pretty damned exciting. Thanks to my newly Remnant augmented scanner, I'm onto something big. Hear that signal? Best I can tell, it's coming from a piece of raw Remnant programming tech. A building block in an unused state. My eyes bulge thinking what we might be able to learn from it, or do with it. It's like a Remtech wildcard. The kind of mystery I live for. I have to get it. There's no time to waste, right?
So, like, my dinner today is a cheap-ass stew that I've made, so that when I eat all the plum taters, I can reuse the gravy tomorrow and have mashed tater with it.
What are the implications of this device, whatever it is?
At the very least, it'll strengthen our bridge to Remnant technology. Even just getting closer data readings could help us break down Remnant programming, use their tech more efficiently. I need to find it. Like, now. Well, now that now's gone, so... now!
Okay.
That's it? No preamble, no further interrogations, just okay? You're in?
I'm in.
Yes! That your game means the world to me. Loading the coordinates into the galaxy map. Consider me primed and ready.
Alright. The only thing I've got money for, mate, is spoiling my dog, mate. That's all I've got money. And I don't lend money out to anybody, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I don't borrow money to anybody. Right. The only place I would ever borrow money to is towards cancer research, and I wouldn't fucking borrow it. I would give it but I'd want to see, you know, something actually coming upon that. I don't want to hear fucking, oh, well, we'd love to find a cure, but due to that, I just gave you a load of fucking money. What do you mean due to the lack of fucking funding? The fuck are you on about, lack of fucking fund? I just gave you this amount of money. You should be like, you know, if I gave them £10 billion, I'm expecting a cure or a cure to be working upon that. But you know, if I gave them the money I can afford, which is £2 on a scratch card I won, I think it's £2.
Inalara
£2.
Was that someone's name, Joel?
Inalara is a virtue. To know your map, your course.
On a scratch card.
It's a good name for the brink of the unknown.
How much have I got in my bank account? And £2 on my card. That's all I got. I got a whole £4 to my name, mate. What the fuck? This is a new area. And that's how much I've got. I got £2 on a scratch card and £2.80 in my bank. And that is got to survive for me until whenever I get paid again. Because I don't worry about when I get paid. I just know I have to pay bills and stuff at certain times. Which basically, as soon as I get paid, that's it. All money gone. Like, because I pay all my bills, even though, like, I'll have to pay, like, fucking what? I'll have to pay my internet, like, probably halfway. Right, from when I get paid to the next pay. But the problem is I know if I keep that money in my bank account, it won't be there when I need to pay that bill. So I pay that bill up front. Right now, I'm borrowing money off of 3 of my fucking family members to be able to put my dog down.
I'm picking up something.
Because I said to my mum, I says, at this rate, I may as well have to apply. I might have to apply for a budgeting loan so I can put him down. But luckily, because of my situation, I get a £100 voucher towards it, so that cuts the bill down. That basically pays for him to be put down. But I do want to spend time with him as well before I do put him down, and I would like to try and spoil him. So that's where I might have to borrow money. But the reason why I can't put him down now is because I want his ashes back. And that's the bit I'm saving up for. He's on pain meds. He's got a full bottle of pain meds that I've opened today. And I kind of want to spoil him as much as I can on the little money I've got. He's had better food than me this fortnight because it's going to be his last fortnight with me. And then as soon as he's gone, I've got to try and find a reason to live again. And I haven't got one. He has been my only reason to live. Because I didn't want to leave him on his own like I was left on my own. You know? After my ex left me and accused me of being a fucking abuser and that lot, everyone believed her. Because everyone always believes the woman. I didn't do fuck all wrong. I didn't do fuck all right in the situation as well. You know, I didn't do fuck all wrong upon that manner of speaking. But fucking hell. I was doing more exercises before I got with that bitch than what I did, and did more exercises throughout the relationship
Ryder, signal source is near a volatile volcano.
than what I do now.
To land.
Wow, PB's right. Whatever's giving off that signal is special.
Prep your team. I'll try to find a safe spot.
So unfortunately, Well, I'd have been no better than my fucking stepdad that I were defending my mum against, if I were to lay fucking hands on her. And the times that I did was in self-defense. You know, what are you gonna do when a woman comes running at you in a psychopathic mindset while you've got your kid in your hands? You're just gonna stand there and let her attack you, or you're gonna put your hand out to keep her at distance and keep your baby safe? Right? Unfortunately, she ended up flying through that, but I didn't mean to do that. And then the second one is where she grabbed me by my balls and squeezed. And I told her to do it fucking harder. And she went white in the face, and I went, see, you can't hurt me, sweet pea. And then she turned, went, I can't do it fucking physically, but I can do it mentally. Right? I lifted her up and slammed her on the sofa, mate. You go out like a kid, you could be treated like a kid, you could stay there. Right? That's disrespectful. And she was right. Because within a week and a two, she left and took my kid. And left me on my own. And basically turned all my family and all my friends against me, what I had. And the problem is...
Phoebe. Probably somewhere she shouldn't be.
The problem is each and every time I changed my life, I cut out people from the past so I could proceed with changing my life instead of falling back into old ways. You know, like I even had to go at my mate. I had to go at my mate like, look, mate, I don't want to be a deadbeat fucking sat there smoking weed all fucking time and all this. I actually want to start getting up and doing stuff. I'm focusing on my exercises. I'm looking for a better way forward than what we're in. And I'm looking for a better way forward for the whole of humanity, not myself and not my offspring. The whole of humanity needs to be in a better mindset. Because I feel like we're all just Vikings now. Raping and pillaging anything we can get hold of.
Wake up, PB. Your mystery signal awaits. Right. Okay, yeah. Actually, could you come here, please? My place. Straight away?
Callow?
Hey, any luck finding a place to land?
Nothing yet. Might take a while.
Okay, PB. Be right there.
You grab her hands, I'll grab her feet.
PB?
Back here. I won't bite.
What's this about?
Callow won't find a safe place to land the Tempest. And safety first! You keep me on my toes, PB.
You're both crazy.
I'm not doing this for the fun of it. The Tempest can't go where we need to be, and you can't get there from the ground. This is the only way in.
In? Where exactly are we going?
PB, where are we going? It's not my fault the signal's coming from inside a volcano. And we should land on stable ground, assuming my subterranean scans are accurate, and the impact doesn't alter trajectory too severely.
And tell me you have a plan for getting back to the Tempest.
Is that a thing? We came all the way to another galaxy with no plan for getting back home. All right, brace for impact. So, are you mad, Ryder?
Mad is the smallest word for what I am.
I mean, it was never a dull moment. Alright.
You nearly got us killed. Any landing you can walk away from, right?
Ryder, come in. Are you all right?
Sam, relate to the Tempest that we're stranded but alive. No choice but to investigate PB signal.
Sorry.
Right away.
Now, for
We need to
me,
find our way to the surface.
I've never
I'm
had
picking up the
anyone to
signal.
talk to.
Need to get through that obstruction.
No one
Maybe
where
there's
I
a
can
console
trust.
buried here somewhere.
So you can imagine I learnt to speak to myself. I learnt to talk to myself. I learnt to deal with stuff myself and to the best of
Try
my
scanning for a
capability.
solution.
Right? That's what I try to do.
Remnant power node detected within.
And at the end of the day, the one thing that I was good at was playing games.
Well, what do you know?
So, I focused on playing games. But also, you know, I have no inner monologue, so whatever my mind state is or what my mindset's going through is unfortunately what I'm going to be talking about. Alright? And it's just directed towards we need to do something about this pedophilia situation because it's not on. I don't care about drug dealers, I really don't, because unfortunately I smoke cannabis. I need drug dealers. Alright? Because otherwise, where the fuck am I getting my weed from? Simple as that. But the thing is I'm not looking for beef and I'm not looking to be involved in your bullshit. Right? That is your shit and your beef to deal with. Nobody's ever helped me, unfortunately. No one's ever stood up for me.
The network you're accessing seems to be a production system.
Production of what?
Remnant hardware.
Good. The gates are opening.
You've opened more than that. I'm picking up structural shifts throughout the cavern area.
And unfortunately, I'm kinda at the area of life like...
Interesting. That observer is in a persistent idle state. Its neural pathways are blank.
It's like POC when I stripped out its remnant protocols. It has no
Seismic activity increasing. I'm picking up additional unprogrammed observers throughout the facility. At dispenser points, you should be able to enlist their support.
Sweet. Let's do that.
Pathfinder, this site was a manufacturing center. That's a collapsed outlet point for an assembly line.
Right. So I don't really care what people are doing, just leave me out your shit and go and mind your own business, you know what I mean? Like I do. Like a normal person should do. Mind your own fucking business. Yeah? 9 times out of 10 I find out you got people out there just making up stuff so they can feel relevant in the moment. The problem is you're just making up stuff to feel
That's not where
relevant.
we came from.
Been there,
Right.
done that.
Me, I can tell you now, I ain't no snitch, right? But if Oak's gonna fucking threaten my life or come to my door in an instance, I'm gonna deal with it the best I can. And unfortunately, if I see you as a threat, I'm going to eliminate that threat. Right? Now, if you're gonna fuck off and leave me be, well then we're gonna see about the police situation, aren't we? Because I'm not in that game anymore, and I'm trying to be a civilian, in hindsight, because I'm on benefits. Right? I'm not a part of society, I'm a civilian. Right? And I'm talking through military terminologies, yeah? I'm not the one with the gun, I'm not the one holding the gun. Okay? I am a civilian, and then there is productive members of society that go out there and actively 9 times out of 10 do jobs that don't do anything. So like for instance, when I was doing work, I was working in a factory job where honestly the only thing and value that I could see of my factory job was to create pollution. And if it wasn't to create pollution, I don't know actually what my job was. I don't know what it was entailing. So the job was pointless for society altogether. And it were even worse due to the fact of, you know, pretty much I went to work and within every, I'd say about a minute, about about, depending who's running the machine, but about every 30 seconds to a minute and a half, I was at least lifting 25 kilograms to put in a cage. And then I would lift over 100 and more of these bags into this cage. By the end of an hour, I would have already moved more than most people can lift at a fucking gym. Yeah? For every 30 seconds to a minute 30, I was picking up 25 kilogram with one hand to put into a fucking goddamn cage so I could continue with the rest of my work. Yeah? On literally either a 12-hour shift or a 7.5-hour shift. Yeah? And that's what I was doing. On a constant, regular basis. I would love to see a bodybuilder manage to do that for 7.5 hours straight. To constantly keep lifting 25 kilogram every fucking 30 seconds to a minute and a half for fucking 7.5 hours straight. And we not even talk about the fucking 12-hour shift. Oh, and also you get an half an hour break between that because you're only doing 7 hours. So you only have to do it for 7 hours.
You are identifying yourself as an ally to the unprogrammed observers in the assembly line.
Hey there, little guy. Nice to have you on the team.
Its protocols are limited, but it will perform simple tasks for you via your scanner.
Another gate. Have to get through. Look, up there above the gate. Another node. Try scanning it.
That node controls the gate, but it's disabled.
Too high to access.
Our new friend knows what to do. And voila! Thanks, buddy.
Let's push on.
Pathfinder, Callow reports finding no safe area to land. Retrieval may be impossible.
Oops.
He has detected a few smaller vessels making their way to the surface, however.
Friend or foe?
Unknown.
Are we going to stand up here all day? I know that shuttle.
Calisaria, are you tracking that sweet signal too?
Ugh, Kalinda. Back off. It's mine. Let's hurry. We have to get to the signal source.
Let's clear them out. More hostiles! All clear.
All right. Now let's find some way to open that gate.
Pathfinder, this console controls the gate.
Here it goes.
Good. The gate's starting to open.
Thank you, Ryder. You opened a gate up here too. Come on, boys. We're in.
She must be on a ridge above us.
Shit, shit, shit!
Calisaria, the high road is much more direct.
How the hell did you find us here, Kalinda?
Guess you didn't notice the little transmitter I hid in Pock. So sloppy. Ta.
Ugh! That... Ryder, we need to pick up the pace. We have to make it across to the next ridge.
Nice turret. Cover me.
Pathfinder, interfacing with this console should allow you to extend the antenna so you can jump across.
Whoa. Major activity.
I can complete the hack, but you'll have to stay close.
Incoming!
Still working on it. Rerouting power from these other structures.
And reducing our cover.
Shit. We'll never catch Kalinda.
Hunker down. More remnants.
Pathfinder, the hack is suspended until you return to the console platform.
No bots to fight up here.
I'm going to kill her.
Kalinda's men spotted on the upper ridge.
Huh.
Pathfinder, there's another dispenser for unprogrammed observers in this area.
Who cares? What matters is that mountain of rock between us and the signal source. to get across there, but that huge boulder's in the way.
Pathfinder, scanning the boulder will help determine the course of action. The rock is too dense for your weapons, but there is a deep fissure that an observer's beam might be able to exploit. I suggest you find the console that controls the dispenser.
Right. Get a friendly bot to do it. Another turret. Worth a hack, no? Just in case. Good idea.
Now we're in business.
Activating could draw hostile remnant.
Anyone order a friendly observer? Sam was right. He comes with a ton of angry bots. At least their new friend is fighting for us.
Pathfinder, interfacing is escalating tectonic activity. The area is becoming increasingly unstable.
Come on, let's scan the boulder fissure so the observer will attack it. Observer to the rescue. All right, let's get across and over the ridge.
Make sure they don't get inside. A triple share to whoever brings me their sweet implants.
Man, I hate her.
Because you're not going to be able to do it. You really ain't.
Her outlaws might have something to say.
There's going to be no cash eventually. So you're not going to be able to do it with money. Your online data's going to be tracked to fuck. So you can't do that. And trust me, they're starting to monitor banks a lot more. They really are. So, you know, a warning to all you drug dealers doing stuff through the banks.
Hold them here, Krennic.
Probably stop.
I'm making sure they can't follow.
You're going to get yourselves caught.
What's she up to?
So long, losers.
And pretty much, you've only got a couple months before all this starts to become active.
Come to your doom, Pathfinder.
Reception committee.
Kalinda sends her regards.
Pin it down.
Up there, above the gate. Another power node. There's gotta be a console for the dispenser around here.
The console here will summon an allied observer to repair the damaged gateway node. The conduit node is damaged. As before, if you deploy an allied observer, it will enact repairs and open the gate.
Right. I mean, it's kind of not my issue, though. Because I don't deal with it like that. But you know when I enjoy smoking weed? I kind of worry about it because, like, if there's no drug dealers around, how the f am I going to get hold of weed?
signal source is in the next chamber.
I'm reading more dispensers for allied observers.
I'll keep that in mind.
Can I save it here? No. I'm fucking hungry, man.
Can't get a bead on the device. Let's drop to the cavern floor.
I wanted food, mate, and I wanted to save. Which means I got no choice but to come back to play the game.
Exactly what I thought.
Like to do this campaign.
Belinda, you ass! Just give it up!
There's a piece of pure, uncut programming.
And the thing is I'm not gonna lie.
I want it, so there's no way I'm giving up.
You're all on social media being buddies with each other. They're gonna know who to come with for.
Using the consoles to summon allied observers.
Like, honestly, you want to be really thankful that I'm not a detective or out like that. Because I'd have busted so many people. You want to be thankful that I smoke drugs and like to be left alone, sort of shit. You know what I mean? And mind my own business. Because if I wasn't, and I was a detective or a snitch, everyone would be fucked, man. But, you know, luckily for you, I enjoy smoking weed, so I need them.
Shit, you defeated all my men.
Really?
Not really.
So, you know. Well, the problem is I was always taught not to be a snitch anyway, so never happened. The only time I would do that is if it was to protect my home. Yeah. Unless I was doing something that was against the law, then I would have to deal with it personally myself.
You really are annoying.
Finished yet?
But if I'm not,
Close. But I will have to go on a recruiting spree after this.
then I have no reason to worry, really, do I? Right. And luckily for me, I don't do any shit like that. So, I'm all good. Kinda not my problem.
The signal source is beyond the next rise.
The way I see it, unless you're robbing people and stuff like that, you're just trying to put bread on the table or support your fucking luxury lifestyle that you've got. Because you're too selfish to let anybody else, you know, like deal, like within that situation. And that's kind of the whole world, mate. Yeah. Okay. It's very selfish towards one another. And I don't get how humanity has become so selfish towards its own fucking breed.
We're in business. Let's cross it and reach Kalinda.
I'm just glad I'm not a snitch, and I'm glad I'm not a part of that life.
How many guys does she have? Kalinda's about to get the device. She's so reckless. You won't make it, Kalinda.
Too late, gal. It's mine. Damn it. I'll give you everything I've got. All the relics, everything worth anything. Please, I don't want to die.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap, what? I don't want her to die, Ryder, but the device, it's not worth her life. Wow, that was close. Okay, time to go.
Baby, thank you. Listen, no heart.
Oh, fuck! Finally beat you to the punch.
I've got 2 shuttles waiting. Follow me.
Sorry, at the minute I'm sorting out my 35p Yorkshire pudding so they can go with my stew. That's not bad, is it? I paid 35p for 15 Yorkshire puddings. You can't grumble with that.
Get out of here! Hurry, this way.
Hey, food's food, mate. I couldn't give a fuck.
Slowpokes. You didn't save me just to watch me die, did you?
Was she always this annoying? Always.
I'm kind of one of these, mate. If there's only a human left in the room for me to eat and I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat that human.
Hey, look! The escape pod! Well, there goes my bedroom.
Man's kind of one of them. A piece of meat's a piece of meat. It doesn't matter what species it is. But I have morals. Like, if there's something else to offer than my own species to eat, I'm gonna go for that. Unless it's like my dog. And then me and my dog's gonna have, like, you know, some human spare ribs.
PB, you put us through a pretty rough ride. Where are you at?
Has she delivered?
We just received a massive shipment of remnant tech. Quite valuable. And this.
Pelisaria, with my compliments. My crew won't bother you again, and you're dead. Always Kalinda.
So she made good on her promise. She still doesn't strike me as someone to trust.
Being a fingertip away from death can change a person. Still, best if we scan everything she sent over.
Better safe than sorry.
I just wish we could have had that device. The scan data does provide a glimpse into how Remnant acquire programming, though. So we missed out on a key to unlocking secrets of the tech. But maybe came away with a glass to listen at the door.
We do have a little bookkeeping matter to discuss.
Ah, nuts. Yeah, the Tempest is light 1 escape pod. That's gonna cost me, isn't it?
So, like, for me, I kind of wish I'd have caught that pigeon because I'd have more than cornish beef. Well, corned beef in my fucking stew at the minute. I'd have pigeon in there as well.
Next time we dock at Nexus, you buy a new one. If you don't have the funds, you work it off overtime. Got it?
Hey, I'm the one out of bedroom. What do we do about that?
Didn't you say you can sleep anywhere?
Oh, you're no fun.
Yeah, I ain't looking for a relationship. I don't even care whether it's in a game or not, mate. I bypass that shit like the plague. You see? And that's the thing. I really wish I caught that pigeon. I could have had fucking pigeon stew, mate, instead of just corned beef stew. Because that's basically what I've got. With, like, veg and fucking bits and bobs. But I'm not going to grumble, mate. Food's food, mate. I got some Yorkshire puddings. Got 15 of them. Cost me 35p. Can't grumble with that. I can put that towards like a Sunday dinner or something one day because they're frozen, so I can keep them. Or I can have them with my dinner tomorrow, which more likely is the one I'm going to do, because I'm going to use all the gravy that's left in my stew to make myself just basically making mashed potato tomorrow. And then obviously I'm going to use the rest of what's left of the stew as gravy. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow for food. The problem is I haven't really regulated myself today very well, because my dog's had enough of me interacting with him because his nose is bad, bless him. It really is. And yeah, now I'm just focusing on trying to save the funding so I can put him down. Luckily, my mum's helping me out with that situation. She's lending me a bit of money. She ain't got much herself, bless her. You know, I got £100 voucher coming off of because of my situation that I'm in, so I can get £100 voucher towards it, and then I've got to try and get the rest to it, which is basically, yeah, I got to starve a fortnight so I can put my dog down. But it is what it is, you know. Also, I'm actively starting to seek for help instead of where they've kind of left me. So I'm going towards medical marijuana. That's what I'm going towards. And yeah, I'm going that way for help. I'm not living off the street area anymore. I'm done with that. And not because I'm worried about people and that lot. I can't be arsed with the stress anymore. Right? Of any of the stress. Can't even be arsed with talking. Like, even my mate Glyn, bless him. You know? But we are done here because I'm starving and I want my food. So I'll love and leave you all. I hope you all look after yourself. I hope you all think of a better lifeline than what we've got. And I hope to God that I can build a community to try and direct humanity into a better way of thinking. Yeah? And I only thought like this is because I had nothing else. A reason to live became the vision I wanted to bring upon the world. The only person I ever had to talk to was God. And I've tried to project things to him, but I don't think he wants to listen. And the devil, well, he seems to let the wicked thrive. He doesn't do what he was meant to do. And he's supposed to destroy and taint the wicked, not the other way around. So I don't get how the devil himself became a slave to humanity. And that's what he is. The devil's just a slave to humanity now. Instead of torturing the wicked and that lot, he's a servant to them. Imagine that, calling your son Lucifer, being a slave to all the wicked people. God, I'd be so offended. Archangel that once rebelled against God because humanity had free will, and now he bends to their will. Ah, fuck. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's think about it. The wicked, they get to thrive. They get to enjoy life. They get to live off your back. While the people that are good and good-hearted get isolated, outcast, banished, and put on a disorder most of the time. When really, it's just we're unable to control our emotions all the time. Especially when you suffer with autism, ADHD, and Asperger's. And also you have no inner monologue, so you say things out loud, but you didn't mean to. You're just unable, and then you have to deal with that situation the best that you can. And the problem is humans lack understanding unless it affects them. And that's the only time that they'll ever have any understanding. And if you really want my disabilities and all that problems, and you think you can deal with it better than I can, then you can have them. You can have them for me. I don't want them. I don't want them at all. I just have to learn to deal with them the best I can. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a dickhead. I am a dickhead, but, you know, I'm not a dickhead that intentionally goes out there hurting people that are good. You know what I mean? Because there's no need for it. Like, shit, I don't even care about fucking drug dealers that are just trying to put bread on table. Or trying to support their shitty little lives that they've got themselves into. And the reason why I call it a shitty little life is because I've been there. I didn't want to stay there because it wasn't a good area of life. All I was doing was spending money to make money, to spend money, to make money, to spend money, to waste money, to spend money, to waste money, to spend money, to waste. I didn't do anything that I actually wanted throughout the process. It all became a waste of fucking time. So this is where I live here, trying to turn a hobby into a career and trying to speak to the youth and say, look, we can have all these drugs in the system still, but we're going to have to learn to cut the violence out. And the reason why you all get fucked over within the drug business is because of how much of violence comes there when you feel threatened that you might lose a tenant. When you might lose a tenant, and that's where you come upon violence is justified. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Right? Fuck that. Right? You shouldn't be like that. There's enough to cater for everybody in the world. The problem is it's your greed that inspires you to want more. It's your greed that thirsts for blood so you can have more. Right? I mean, personally, I think we should get rid of blood money when it comes to the drug situation. And what blood money is, sorry, mate, but it's cocaine, heroin, smack, and all that crap. Right? That's what needs eradicating. Cannabis is not blood money. I've never heard anybody die because of taking cannabis. I've heard of people dying because of over cannabis. But that's mainly because they've rang up a big debt. Thank you, Paige. I hope you're looking after your son, sweetheart. But I'm going to get something to eat. I'm waiting for my oven. And I'm searching for a reason to live. I really am. Because my mum comes Tuesday. And then basically my mum's making the phone calls for me because I've tried and I can't deal with it over the phone. I'm getting emotional, I'm getting radical, and I'm losing my temper, and I'm basically just hanging up trying to deal with the situation. I can't deal with it. And because they're trying to help me, to help my dog, because the way I see it, it's better for him to go than for him to be in pain. Right? And I've been trying to wrestle with this. Don't get me wrong, I am being selfish as fuck, and I'm trying to get over March. I would much rather put my dog down next month than dealing with this month. Because I struggle with this month, I struggle with last month. And this is why I try and take the day by days. Because as long as I'm not remembering which months we're in, I'm fine. But like, My first area, my first time of being able to see my son within a year was going to a cemetery. And I bankrupted myself getting to the cemetery. I couldn't even afford flowers. I mean, I don't know whether I want to take flowers to my son anymore. He's 13 years of age. And, you know, like, mentally, I'm completely fucked in the head and I'm ready to take my own life. Physically, I'm alive, you know. I'm ready to just go. Humanity's stupid. Humanity wants to live upon greed. Humanity wants to leave its kids suffering. Humanity doesn't want to stand up for what's right. And we're all going to die because of it. And the problem is people's worried about money. Yeah, you're worried about money. What do you think money's going to do when World War III kicks off? Do you think money's going to protect you? I'll save you. £20 note in front of me. No, it's not going to work that way, youth. You see, because what that soldier's going to think, I mean, I'm not fighting for money, bro. I'm fighting for survival. Bang. Right. You got any rations on you? Take these bullets and all. I can trade them. That money ain't going to do shit for you. And I'm not going to lie. I can't wait for World War III to kick off. You know what I mean? I really can't wait. Because it's going to separate the men from the boys ASAP. It really is. And when you got that little gangster man getting it all that, I'll tell you what that sergeant's going to do, mate. He's going to pick up his rifle and he's going to put that straight in the end of your fucking nose. So, yeah. I kind of hope that World War III does happen. Because I can't wait to be seeing people that were bad man going, I'm scared, I want my mum. You weren't saying that when you have 10 of you surrounded by one person. You're 10 man to one person, mate. Damn right disrespectful that is. You never thought about trying to talk about it. No, you never thought about trying to solve it in a diplomatic way. No, you just went straight to fucking gang up on them with a bunch of people, didn't you? Low life. Scum. Weak. No backbone. And we need to move on from that life. And as far as I can see, mate, if humanity doesn't learn to stand up, I'm not going to be able to live in a world where I walk down the fucking street and see a 6-year-old girl holding hands with her husband pregnant. Right? I ain't living with that. I don't want to live in that. Yeah? I don't want to live in that at all. As far as I'm concerned, humanity can go deal with that and you can live upon that. Because I am not going to fucking hell because of what humanity allows and chooses. Right? You're supposed to protect your children. You're supposed to nurture your children. You're supposed to educate your children. You're supposed to look after your children. We don't live in that day and age. We live in exploitation of our children, where a woman gets pregnant by a man, then leaves the man, claims CSA, while the man does nothing but go to court and fight for the fucking child, to see the child. Yeah, and constantly has to keep reliving through that. Do you know what that puts a child through? A lot of stress, a lot of animosity that's not needed from an early age, all because dad's trying to fight for you. This world's doomed, and nobody cares, nobody listens. 5 fucking years I've been warning humanity, my friends, my family. Oh, what can we do about it? Sit on your fat arse, mate. That's what you can fucking do about it. Right? But then they all whinge at me for sat here trying to do something productive and speak to people that may or may not listen to me anyway. Right. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And then we got this bullshit ass intimidation game majority of the fucking time. But nor offends me, nor bothers me. Right, I have got weapons literally at each and every aspect and area around my property. There is a knife. There is a tool. There is an hammer. Yeah? Because of the bullshit that I went through as a child, never mind as an adult. As a child, I used to sleep with a knife in my bed, just in case man ran through that door. Right? Luckily, I never actually had to deal with any of that situation. We did have people that ran through the door when I was a kid and that, though, but it got dealt with in a situation that no one really agreed with. And like for me right now, mate, I ain't gonna lie, I'm being gang stalked and I'm being studied around my neighbourhood because they think I've got money because of 604 subscribers and mainly only have like one viewer, which is Paige. Right? I don't make no money off this. I live off UC, right? Benefits due to my situation that I'm in. I've got no productive area for a line of work, and unfortunately, I've got enough to survive, and I'm getting more stable within myself since I've been dedicating to my 100 press-ups every single day. My temper's getting better to old, but my trauma's not any better, so I'm trying to work around my trauma now. Right? Instead of knowing that I'm not going to sleep if it gets to 2:30, I'll try and get my head down for an hour, and then I'll prepare myself for 2:30, and then I'll live through my trauma with doing my exercises up until pretty much 6 o'clock, or I find something else to do on here and try and avoid that trauma. See, the problem is when I went through court, I was made to get all my problems diagnosed. I was constantly after reopening the wounds of this. I constantly had to talk about losing my child and what it put me through and how I went through, of a repetitive loop up to a year and a half, to the point where I think that's what made me live in the repetitive loop. Although I was living through it before I even went and did any of that. I used to shit myself every night at fucking 2:30. Just used to wake up, look at Jess, realise she wasn't pregnant no more, and then cry myself back to sleep. Just so that she didn't see it. And I didn't know how to help her. Nor did I know how to help myself. And I'm working on it now still. 3 years ago is when I finally admitted that why I do what I do. And now, ever since that, I've tried to work on being better, trying to do better. And now I'm at an area where I am becoming better in myself. I'm doing exercises, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But at the minute, I gotta say goodbye to my dog. And the problem is I always said we were going out in this world together. And I tried my best. Had I stopped buying food so that I could literally go to the pub and enjoy myself a bit and drink alcohol and buy a bottle of Jack Daniels for when I got back to drink more alcohol, I was hoping alcohol poisoning was going to take me out. It just made me more fucking healthier. It didn't do a fucking thing to me. compared to what I see other people when they abuse alcohol, them motherfuckers get to put weight on. No, I'm still 9.5 fucking stone. Although I do only drink whiskey. But at the end of the day, I drink whiskey because I can keep it down. I don't throw it up. So if I drink a bottle and a half of whiskey, that bottle and half of whiskey is staying within my stomach. I ain't bringing that shit back up. Right? I should have died of alcohol poisoning. But, you know, apparently I'm fucking stuck on this earth. But luckily for me, this is the last time that Jesus will actually be on this earth. So I ain't got to deal with this shit again. I ain't being reincarnated, right? This is the last time that Jesus has to walk among this earth. And if humanity doesn't learn from Jesus, they're just going to leave you in your sins. And you'll forever be imprisoned to this earth. Yeah? You will not be allowed off this earth, and you will remain in this shithole. Because honestly, we've got a lot more out there that humans do not know. And there's a reason you don't know. Because you can't be trusted. I mean, look what you do to your own planet. Look what you do to your own kids. Look what you do to the life forms. I mean, you humans are that daft you believe there's only one inhabitable planet within the whole fucking solar system that you live in. Yeah? And look what you do to that one planet that you can breathe on, that you can live on. What do you think happens to humanity once this planet is no longer livable? Hey, where do you think we're going, dickheads? Let's think that through logically. Yeah? Once we've nuked everywhere and the planet looks like Mars, a barren land, yeah? A wasteland, yeah, because of all the nuclear radiation, right? To be honest, the main reason why Mars is the way it is, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't really have I think it's called stratosphere, I can't remember. Right, which basically means too many UV rays are hitting that planet, it's being cooked alive, mate. It's basically a fucking microwave up there, right? See, Earth, you've got a golden barrier that pretty much protects you from a lot of the dangerous UAV rays, right? Which are cancerous acting cells, right? You can get skin cancer. You can get skin cancer from going out in the sun. You can get skin cancer for laying on a sunbed. Yeah? You can get skin cancer for just being around pollution in general. The problem is you need something to trigger that shit. Humanity has to learn to stand up for itself. Fortunately, you have to overthrow the people in government, and everybody that is a rich, spoilt little brat has to make the sacrifice to get rid of money. Yeah, they're going to make the biggest sacrifice so that humanity can learn to move in a better direction. Money doesn't give me focus. Yeah? Money doesn't drive me. I didn't start streaming. Well, I did actually. I started streaming because I wanted to earn money for my son, and this was the only outlet, unless I wanted to be a coke dealer or a fucking prostitute. Right? But being a coke dealer and a prostitute, how the fuck would I ever go to the judge that's sorting my court case out so I can have custody with my son? And he goes, "How did you manage to afford this money, Mr. King?" Well, you see, sold a lot of coke. That's not legit money. That's not legal intake. I was a prostitute. Not legal intake. Right? So I'd be arrested and then not be able to see my son. Well, that didn't seem pleasable to me. So, I tried this instead. As that my area of going to work was capped. Because of my disabilities. And to the point where I've been left alone that motherfucking long. I don't know how to deal with shit anymore. Right? I've been on my own that long with somebody that I used to say is my carer. Bro never helped care for me. It made me feel better because it made me feel like I wasn't alone by saying he was my carer. But he never did anything for me. So, you know, everything was just a blatant lie to make me feel better. Where have my mushrooms gone? I'm sure, no, they're there. I say I'm sure I put mushrooms in this fucking stew. So, I'm going to spend some time with my dog. And I'm done for streaming tonight. I may or may not be back on, depending if my dog gets pissed off with me. Because apparently I'm not sleeping tonight, I'm just wide awake. So, I hope you all look after yourselves. It's nice to see you in, Paige. I've seen you liking your comments and that lot. And thingy, because I was on about that. Like, I haven't seen Paige for a while. She usually pops in, bless her. But obviously, I also saying it as well, because I think out loud. I also said at the beginning of this stream or the other stream that she usually goes on to my thingies and puts comments and that lot, which is nice of her to do that for me. So, and Alf's doing shit. He's had 2 nosebleeds today. I didn't read that bit. And Tuesday, I'll be doing all the phone calls to basically put him down, and I want his ashes back. So, I'm going to get his ashes back, and I'm going to deal with that. And what most people don't understand is that chocolate Labrador, mate, may just be a dog to you, but you're just a human to me. What makes you any more valuable? That chocolate Labrador shed mercy upon me and showed me love, showed me gratitude, showed me that something does care. And it's my baby over there looking at me because I'm making food. Yeah, you, dumbass, love you. Right? He showed me that. He has shown me more love, more loyalty, more gratitude, more respect than any human has done for my life. And he's been there all the time. Never once let me down. He's disappointed me, but that's different. It's because he's my child. There's a difference. A friend lets you down, but your child just disappoints you because you expect better from them. I mean, I'll try upon that, but I think Oak Tree's got plans for me tonight. I think they're going to try and rob me, but they don't realise that I'm tooled up to fuck. I've got a full biking gear that I'll quite happily put on. I'll put my carbon fibre knuckles on, I'll put my helmet on, I'll put my full biking gear on. I'll go out there with my peace breaker and I'll go out there with a fucking knife in my hand. So, the problem is when you have no inner monologue, you think out loud. And I've had a long time to deal with the fact of Alf leaving me. Every time I'm here, like, thinking about Alf leaving me, you know what I mean? You know, I've always said I'm taking myself out. I don't know how I'm going to change a world that doesn't want to listen. And the problem is no matter what I do to myself, it doesn't do anything. Like, honestly, I took an overdose that would have took a whole elephant out of the fucking game, mate. And yet, all I did was go to the doctors, well, A&E, because, you know, I had my dog at the time, So I messaged my mum to come collect my dog. And I survived. But bearing in mind, I took 128 diacocodine tablets. I took 64 anitriptyline tablets. Bearing in mind, 60 milligram and 60 milligram of the DHCs. And then I was on a load of other fucking tablets that I decided to chuck in a bowl and eat them like they was Tic Tacs. And the next morning I got up, went for the worst shitter I've ever had in my life, and had terrible gut ache for about 6 hours. And then I took myself straight to Tesco, robbed myself some orange juice, because I couldn't afford it, and came back and drank it. And then pretty much I was back on my feet within less than fucking 8 hours of waking up. I should have been dead a long time ago. Like, you know, it's just, the mind wants to die, but the body has a strong will to live. And that's what you call manic depression. And people don't understand it because they don't suffer with it. They don't suffer with autism, nor Asperger's, nor ADHD, nor sleep insomnia, nor traumatic events that also interact with this. So you can't understand on any level unless you've been through it or suffering through the same shit. And even suffering through the same shit or being through it, you don't physically understand the other person's mindset. One person could be through it and has managed to come through the other end. The other person could have been sat in there for 20 years. But, you know, that person that got through it probably had a lot of help and support. After my ex left me, everybody believed my ex. Nobody believed me. Nobody supported me. Nobody aided me. Nobody talked to me. I had to get off my fucking arse and do the best I could. And I did. And then, unfortunately, when I was about to go back to work, my ex failed to protect, and I'm going to the social services to fight for my son back because she failed to protect, and my son ended up with a bleed on his brain. So then, the first thing I did was, and then I constantly got, well, like, we're going to take you on when you're telling us you got court dates for your kid and this, like, you're just unreliable. I am reliable. I can be here and I just need to prioritise in certain areas. And it felt like the word was saying, pick work or pick your kid. So I picked my kid. And I fucked off work. And I fucked off looking for work. So I stayed on the benefit system. And then going through court, I was made to go and get all my disorders diagnosed, which I went and got all my disorders diagnosed because I was told if you don't get your problems diagnosed, you're not allowed to see your kid. All right, well, that's a no-brainer. Went and got all my shit diagnosed and everything. Eventually diagnosed with everything. Bearing in mind, trying to do that, I was going through many traumatic experiences and that lot, to the point where I ended up taking my own life. Tried to take my own life anyway. I was bad at it for some reason. Right. Clearly I'm bad at trying to take my own life. I'm still fucking alive. If I was any good at it, I'd be dead. I wouldn't have to deal through this bullshit that I have to deal with every single day. And then as soon as night time comes, at 2:30, I get to relive the event when I was 19 to the point where I can physically tell you every step of that day. Yeah? I can even describe my ex's facial expressions when she was looking down at our child that was dead. Because as soon as his heartbeat faded, I passed him to mum. Yeah? Because I knew that was it. And I was praying for, like, he's got a heartbeat. Come on, kid, you could do this. You're a fighter like your dad. Yeah? My only outlet to speak to someone has been an empty audience, bro. Empty.